Happy Monday. All right. It is the last week until spring break. We have almost made it. Let's get through this week and we will have a whole week off. So just think, what are you going to be doing this time next week? I'll probably be sleeping. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this lesson. We are on still in chapter 7, lesson 4, and the topic is algebraic expressions. Okay. We have some vocabulary words I want to go over with you. Algebra, man, you're going to be hearing that word a lot, algebra, throughout your school years. Some of you will love it, some of you will hate it, and my job is going to be for the ones that hate it, make it bearable and uh, to where you can tolerate it, okay? And to try to make it fun for you, okay? All right, so algebra is a language of symbols, including variables, all right? So the symbols, what would these symbols be like? Like multiplication, right? Operations are symbols, and brackets and parentheses and all that stuff. Okay, and it says a variable is a symbol, usually a letter used to represent a number. Okay, and we've done that. We've learned about x's and y's and n's and m's, and you can have any letter as a variable, right? And it stands for a number. It represents a number. All right. So let's look at here. It says a box contains an unknown number of markers. There are two markers outside the box, and the total number of markers is represented by the bar diagram below. All right, so there's a bar diagram, and let me just draw a picture real quick to what that would be like. So let's just say we have a we have a box, right? And let's just say we have this blue box, and it says a box contains an unknown number of markers. All right, so we're going to put a question mark there, and there are two markers outside the box. So these are going to be my two markers outside the box. All right, and so that's what this says: unknown number of markers. That's the box, and two markers. There they are. Suppose there are 14 markers in the box. Okay, find the total number of markers. All right, well, we know that it says 14 markers. If there are 14 markers in the box and there are two markers outside, find the total number of markers. Well, it would be 14 plus 2, right? And so that would be 16. Okay, all right, and we know that because the unknown number of markers, they told us there's 14. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the lesson. It says evaluate one-step expressions. Algebraic expressions can contain at least one variable and at least one operation. Okay, an algebraic expression contains at least one variable and at least one operation. For example, the expression n plus 2 represents the sum of an unknown number and 2. So there's n, it represents a sum of an unknown number, and then we have 2. The letter x is often used as a variable. To avoid confusion with the symbol times, the multiplication symbol, there are other ways to show multiplication. All right, so I'm sure some of you have seen this before. With a dot, you have seen me write a dot. So for instance, like 2 times 2 is 4, right? Okay. And then times right here. This means 5 times x because 5 is right next to x in parentheses. And then this also means 5 times x where they don't have the parentheses. Okay. It says the variables in an expression can be replaced with any number. Once the variables have been replaced, you can evaluate or find the value of the algebraic expression. So let's find out what they're talking about. Okay. All right. For our first example, it says evaluate 16 plus b if b equals 25. Okay. So our expression is 16, algebraic expression is 16 plus b. And then they tell us what b is. They said b is 25. So if b is 25, we just have to plug the 25 in for b. So 16 plus 25 equals 41. Let's take another one. Look at another example. Okay, number 2 says evaluate x minus y if x equals 64 and y equals 27. Okay, so they're telling you what x equals and what y equals. You're going to plug in 64 for x, which they did here, and then they plugged in 27 for y, which they did there. Okay, replace x with 64 and y with 27, and then subtract 27 from 64. So your answer would be 37. Let's look at number 3. Oh, here we're dealing with a fraction. It says evaluate 6x if x equals 1/2. 6x, that means 6 times whatever x is. Well, they're letting us know that x equals 1/2. So 6 times 1/2 would be 3. So just a refresher, whenever we multiply whole numbers and fractions, all right, we can turn this whole number into a fraction because that's going to be 6 over 1, and then we just multiply numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. So that's 6 over 2, and that's an improper fraction. So if we divide 6 divided by 2, that's going to equal 3, and so that's how they got the answer 3. All right, let's look at example 4. It says evaluate 5t plus 4 if t equals 3. All right, well, 5t means 5 times t, whatever t is, plus 4. All right, so 5t, they tell us what t is. They said t is 3. So they replace replace 3 with t. So 5 times 3 plus 4. All right, well, 5 times 3 is 15. And then 15 plus 4 is 19. Here's an example of an exponent. So we have 4x squared. All right, they said, and they're telling us what x is. X equals 1/8. Okay, so that means 4 times 1/8 squared. Okay, well, let's find out what 1/8 squared is first. Okay, let's simplify this. So I'm going to just do 4 times here, and we're going to write whatever it is. So if we have 1/8 times 1/8, it's 1 over 64. So 4 times 1 over 64. Well, 4 is a whole number, so it's a fraction over 1. And 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 64 is 64. All right, they got 1 over 16 because they simplified it into simplest form and they divided by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 64 divided by 4 is 16. Now, our final example, we have 10a plus 7. All right, I'm going to write that over here. I know it shows the example here. Let's just use it. Actually, it's fill in the blank here. So, all right, so 10a plus 7 equals 10. And then what does a equal? A equals 1/5. So let's put 1/5 in for a. All right, then plus 7. Now, let's go ahead and figure out what 10 times 1/5 is. So 10 times 1/5. We know that this is a whole number, and so that is a fraction is over 1. So 10 times 1 is 10, and 1 times 5 is 5. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. All right, so it's 2 plus 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. All right, here we're going to do some guided practice, and I would like you to get a piece of paper and a pencil and do this along with me, please. Okay. All right, so here we go. Welcome back, and from getting your pencil and piece of paper. Let's do this first one, 3 plus m. All right. It says evaluate each expression if m equals 4, z equals 9, and r equals 1/6. Okay, well, we just had the variable m in this expression, so let's do 3 plus m. So that would be 3 plus, and m equals 4, so 3 plus 4, and that equals 7. Let's do number 2, z minus m. Well, z here equals 9, m equals 4, so 9 minus 4 is 5. Number 3, 12r. So this means 12 times r. So what is r? R equals 1/6. So if we do 12 times 1/6, 12 is a whole number, so as a fraction, it's 12 over 1. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 6 is 6. And then 12 divided by 6 equals 2. So it's 2. All right, let's do number 4. 4m minus 2. If m is 4, so it's 4 times 4 minus 2. Well, with that order of operation, we have to multiply this first. So 4 times 4 is 16. And then 16 minus 2 equals 14. Number 5. 60 times r. So what we're going to do is we're going to write 60. And instead of r, we're going to replace it with 1/6. So we have 1/6. And let's go ahead and put parentheses around it. Minus 4. All right. So here we go. We have to figure out what 60 times 1/6 is. What is 60 times 1/6? Well, if 60 is a whole number, we can turn it into a fraction. And then, so 60 over 1. So 60 times 1 is 60, right? And then 1 times 6 is 6. So what is 60 divided by 10? I'm sorry, 60 divided by 6. 60 divided by 6 equals 10, right? So now we have 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 equals 6. And our final guided practice problem, 3r squared. So this means 3 times r squared. Okay, well, r equals 1/6. So 3 times 1/6 squared. All right. Per our order of operations, we have to do parentheses first. So what is 1/6 squared? So we have 1/6 times 1/6. 1 times 1 is 1. Oops. And 6 times 6 is 36. Okay. So now we have 3 times 1 over 36. Well, 3 is a whole number, so as a fraction, it's 3 over 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 36 is 36. Okay, and let's go ahead and put it in simplest form. We know that we can divide by 3. So divide by 3. So 3 divided by 3 equals 1 over, and 36 divided by 3 would be 12. So your answer is 1/12. All right.